Hello, this is Tam the TamBoTC channel, and we're going to talk about some Fallout stuff. I am Arnold. No, but I'm just playing Arnold as we go into a couple of Fallout things. First off, I've wanted to always discuss my thoughts on the latest Fallout 76. Sorry. And there's, of course, a new mod known as Fallout Miami. And hallelujah, somebody shooting at me now. I'm going to run away. Please. Thank you. But anyways, so let's start with Fallout 76. Now, sadly, my problems, yes, I'm going to get in problems, and though I can't judge the game because it hasn't even come out yet, I'm judging it too. I'm probably going to judge it harshly before it even comes out. We still have the beta. You know what? Usually betas are the game. Just look at Destiny's betas. It basically is the game, just it's only a chunk of the game. So I'm pretty sure that either Bethesda will change things and listen to the fan criticism, or they won't and not give a crud. So it could go either way. So when it comes to it, how about NPC interactions with like human NPCs? No. I don't like the fact that they're removing human NPCs. A lot of the big things about Fallout was like, why couldn't they even do like overseers and such from the very vault that you came from? Like, why couldn't they do stuff like that? It would have made sense just as much. Plus, you want something interactive and unique to be able to. I did not expect him to actually have a rocket. I thought he was going to have like a pipe rifle, but okay. Anyways, while I got destroyed by that dank, Arnold lost an arm. Lost my limbs. No. But, yeah, the human interaction is going to be dumb. There's not going to be companions, so that makes me upset. Just thinking about that makes me want to cry. There's not going to be a dog meat. But seriously, you do realize that a lot of the charm and personality of your worlds is from a lot of the interactivity with characters. Like, what about ghouls and such? You know, not feral ghouls, ghouls. And even though super mutants weren't really around, like they were an experiment, later they're all over the dang place. But there's more into the lore and stuff. Like, I'm sure it'll be interesting. It'll work more like a Dark Souls game with little tidbits of lore in the world itself, but it's not a Dark Souls game, and I don't know if it'll work exactly the same in that sense. Because Skyrim still had a lot of that, but you still needed a lot of the other stuff. Just look at ESO. I have a lot of the same problems with ESO. All the characters feel very robotic and lifeless. Ow, 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 run. But, jeez, I'm being shot up. My butt is red. No! Oh, gosh, the mass fusion building. I remember this place. What? Jeez. Calm down. I'm just healing myself, okay? Alright. So, as I was saying, whoops. Dagnabbit. Radiation. You're hot! You don't look hot to me! You're dead! That's what you are. Oh, good job, Nick. Yeah, a lot of the human interactivity is kind of gone, and I don't count, couple of things. I don't count other players as good human interactivity all the time, because you're going to always have jerks online. There's going to be bound to be that person who trolls you. There's griefing now that you know, and since they're pushing the whole don't play the game alone, I have a feeling it's because of like how many enemies there are in an area. Take, for example, you run into ghouls, and there's usually you find like 4 or 5 of them. Now quadruple that. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be situations like that where the world is just way too hard that you probably shouldn't play alone because you're not going to get very far. It's kind of weird to think how both that system, a big thing to the Fallout series now, and how respawning will work. Just the fact that respawning exists. Sorry for the mic. It's just really weird to even think about. So I don't know truly what to think about those things in the game. But yeah, I still can't wait to see how Fallout 76 comes out, and I hope Fallout 76 is really good. Like, I hope it really succeeds and blows us away. Like, oh wow, we were wrong about this game. I want it to do that. But if it doesn't, this could also say something about, like, storyline in games, that you kind of do need that storyline might actually be a bigger deal to games than people think. And a lot of it's more in, like, the human interactivity and personality of these worlds. You really walk by me? You're an idiot. Whoops, I keep missing. Thank you. Where did you get that gun, by the way, Nick? Jeez. Oh, I remember this place. Isn't this the one with the... Don't look up his underwear. What the crud was that? Isn't this a place where there's a bobblehead way up there and you can actually glitch your way up by sticking, using a bucket to jump on repeatedly? I think I did that once. But yeah, when it comes to it, and they're using the same engine, I'll forgive them for that only because it's just kind of like a side game to Fallout, but it's a prequel, so I still think that there should be more to it than that. At least ESO was something different, and I think it had like a different engine. It definitely must have. It's almost nothing like the other Elder Scrolls games. Ow! That was my head. Yeah, ESO just had such a lifeless, generic world. Its characters felt like robots. And it just very bland. Hey! No! Hey! Dink. Alright, I gotta heal because these dinks. Whoa, what the? Oh, he's behind me. I don't have jet, do I? Holy. Ow. Ow. I'm sorry. Oh ho ho ho. Oh crud, that's a missile launcher, isn't it? Run. Oh, I'm in a really bad position. Maybe I should leave. Man, this is not a very good episode. Alright, I haven't played this in a little bit. Been, like, switching between so many other games that is just kind of throwing me off a little bit. Let's go back out, Nick, shall we? I know there's going to be a lot of loading screens this episode, but dang! But, then Fallout Miami comes out with a trailer that just feels so much like a Bethesda or official Bethesda video. Jesus, Mike. I stinking try to talk into it, and then it's like I'm too close to the mic, but I'm not actually too close to it. But it sounds like I am. Gotta be careful with this dang mic. So it's definitely got problems. This is a different mic, by the way. You can probably tell because it's a little more clear and there isn't that buzzing sound. I don't think, anyways. It's been a little better, but yes, it'll still have that weird thing where it's like I'm far enough away from the mic so you can hear me, but for some reason it's like I'm too close at times, or I just like raise my voice on accident and it just gets caught and makes the mic pop. I don't know. It's weird. But So much going on. Oh, I found Good Neighbor. Actually, did I? I think I found this. Yeah, I found Good Neighbor before. Dagnabbit. Oh well. Maybe I can do that dang mission to Hancock to join my team. Or become my companion in this, or follower in this case. But anyways, yeah, that was a really cool trailer. It felt very professionally made. It was demonstrated perfectly with both the voice acting, the clips that they showed, as well as what they demonstrated was different and new to it. It felt like its own spin-off side game, but it's probably more the equivalent of Far Harbor. Holy crud, what the heck? Holy crud, they can come in here? That's crazy. Super Mutant Orders, interesting. I'll have to read that later, though. What do you have? Please don't shoot me.
I've got a few minutes to browse. Let's get you out for killer.
I have a feeling you're going to kill me. Oh my gosh, they killed them, and they're going to kill me. Oh my god. Okay, no. I haven't even seen that movie. I'm glad I haven't, because it's trash. Anyways. Ooh. You got some pretty good stuff, Dink. Yeah, it stinking puts the Fallout Miami, I'm losing track, just puts Fallout 76 to shame. And the difference is it's a mod. Oh, hello. I know who you are. I know who you are. You're no drifter. You're a dink. That's what you are. Whoa, what the heck? There's a dang feral ghoul in here. But, yeah, it really puts 76 to shame, this big multiplayer game. And I don't know what to think. The monsters in the world are interesting, but that can only hold it up for so long, because you got games like Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky that have similar aspects, and yet they have major problems with them that just make them forgettable and unplayable after a while. Not like unplayable in the sense that you literally can't play them, but that you just don't want to play them because you're so bored of them. And everything they have to offer just doesn't feel like much, or that you're feel like your time's going to be as invested. And I feel like the same thing might come to Fallout 76. I don't doubt that it's going to make a lot of money. It definitely is. But make sure that once you know what you're getting yourself into, and if it's not turning out to be good or the way you thought it was, hopefully you can refund your money. So yeah, might want to think about it. And I'm not saying that you should, it's up to you once again, but yeah, just think about it when you get your hands on the game. Is this going to be a game that you're going to invest your time in, or are you going to move on to other games and almost forget as if it even exists in the first place? Alright, where the crud do I go for this quest, to start this quest? There's supposed to be an alleyway around here. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Fallout Miami. I hope it comes to the consoles. I have a feeling it won't once again, but it looks really promising and it's really cool, and I definitely have to shout them out. Go subscribe to their channel. It's just called Fallout Miami, and also find their website, which is also called Fallout Miami. I'm guessing it's something like www.falloutmiami.com or falloutmiamimod.com or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But you'll find it when you... That stupid pop. You'll find it when you look it up. It shouldn't be too difficult. Hopefully you don't run into a random website that will give you a virus, though. Actually, look for Yang Yi's latest video, because he made a video on it, and he probably has a attachment to it. But it looks really impressive. I'm looking forward to it. It feels kind of like it's New Vegas in a way, and I'm very impressed by the trailer. Yeah, and I was going to bring up too with Fallout 76. they probably think that you can probably rebuild the world,
Hey, you. Looking for work?
and that, let me get in first person so I can talk to them. Oh gosh, you're ugly.
Yeah.
Yes.
When can I start?
Well,
But,
aren't you an ego beast?
yeah, it's,
If you don't mind.
like, they probably think that, first off, the lore is probably gonna eventually be ruined, and there's been people who've already touched on why and such, the same subject. But also because more
I'm gonna need more
info.
to go on here.
You're just gonna have to trust me.
Uh-huh. I'm in.
That's what
I'm
I
in.
like to hear.
But yeah, it's just
Give me the lowdown.
it's a really could get really messy. A lot of this, I can see a lot of arguments into what I'm about to say, but say they think that you can, like, they talk about how you can have your own experiences and stuff, but a lot of that does narrow down to the interactions with humans and such. Take, for example, something like if you're walking along and there's like a co-op Skyrim. It's always been my dream to have a co-op Skyrim like game. Of course, with the improvements and having Bethesda learn from all their previous games and like kind of mash all the good that people loved about all those games into the latest Elder Scrolls, and just have that be a dream come true. It would be one of the best games, and hopeful, and like, I don't want it to be like Fallout 76 multiplayer. I want it to be more like just like co-op or something, like 2 players or whatever, maybe 3. But yeah, that's more of a dream. And think of you and your friend are walking along the path, and all of a sudden out of the bushes from the sides of the path is instead of where you run into one thief trying to rob you, it's like a gang of thieves, and they run into, and you're either, if you're part of the thieves guild, you have probably different options with them, but if you're not, there's still options to go there. But it's an interesting experience that both you and your friend is interacting with, and it's with like NPCs that are either human, Argonian, Khajiit, Orc, Dark Elf, whatever. And it's just a cool moment. And there could be so many other moments like that. And it's a mixture of both monsters, fantasy monsters and such, and humans, and it gives more variety to it. In Fallout 76, you're going to have cool boss battles and monsters gang up on you, but that's it. And the encounters will probably get repetitive. You'll have a couple of those cool dungeons. I can definitely see the dungeons. Take, for example, the Museum of Witchcraft. Sorry, I'm just kind of standing here. The Museum of Witchcraft mission, where it's just really creepy place. I actually think that that place is the weakest creepy area in all of the Fallout games, but it's still creepy. But once you get down to what you know you're fighting, it kind of ruins just like the atmosphere and the creepy vibe of it. And it's like just one enemy in that location too, is a Deathclaw. Not saying that it isn't tough, but it kind of depletes your like fear of the unknown feeling. And though there's not a whole lot of monsters like that known in the Fallout series, it's still really cool how they set up the build-up, and they could have done it much better. And I feel like a lot of that's just going to get super repetitive after a while. And when it comes to rebuilding the world, where you can craft and make your own buildings and structures and such, would probably get super boring. Let me get this mission up. And that you might want to really just like, you really want to like, take for example, you're building cities. You want to build a city, the equivalent to fit like whatever lore of the world. It's like you construct your lore of the world with your friends and such, and you try to make what's basically the equivalent of like your Diamond City or your Metaton, but for that location, West Virginia, I believe. And you try to build that settlement. You and your friends have different jobs similar to that of the characters in previous Fallout games, and they take up those jobs. They are either like salesmen or people who, or the mayor or something like that for the town. and then the place gets griefed, nuked, whatever, and that kind of thing is kind of ruined. And it just goes downhill. You don't have really much memorable. I mean, there'll be buildings and structures and such that are really cool here and there, but it only lasts. That cool factor and appeal to it will only last for so long until you just, it's repetitive, monotonous, boring, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to get to that point eventually where you just can't deal with it or care anymore. But yeah, hopefully it'll have more to it than we think. Because one complaint people do have about when a game has bad acting and such, that people will make fun of the actors as just really robotic and bland. Kind of like how Peter Dinklage portrayed his role in as the ghost in Destiny. He was very robotic and such. Think of that, but like every single character. Everyone's a Codsworth or some sort of robot of Protectron, whatever you can imagine. And just is like everyone's a robot, and that's not to say that robot characters can't be interesting, but most of them are just robots and stink, have no real personality, and just feel super lifeless. And you keep in mind, it's just a robot. It really doesn't feel like much outside of that when you stinking get down to the core of it and what it really is. And I know there's a lot of like cool stories in Fallout that make robots or just synths in general more lifelike or believable, and the messages behind them awesome. Kind of like the messages that are delivered in the Blade Runner movies, but Fallout did a lot of at least what Blade Runner 20, I can't remember the name of it, the year that it took place, but yeah, basically the equivalent of that story, with how they use the memories of the robots and such, the synths equivalent. So yeah, I can understand a lot of that stuff, but it's just going to get really boring after a while, and there's not going to be much to the game. It's just going to fall in line with games like Evolve and stinking Division and such, even though people make the argument of it's going to get better, which I have a feeling this is also going to have that same bland argument that we always hear. Just a little too much. Shut the heck up. Whoops, why the crud did I eat a bunch of those? Just shut the heck up. No, but you would still like what? Of course, you can like whatever you want. It's your opinion. It's your money. You do whatever. You do whatever. You even comment on my video or tell me what you think I'm wrong at, and I'll probably respond. Oops, sorry about that again. But yeah, I'm not saying that I hate 76. I'm worried for 76. I'm worried that it... Did I use a rat-away? No, I didn't. I'm an idiot. But, yeah, I'm scared for what Fallout 76 will be, and if it's going to be worth my money. So, if it's not, I'm going to be very disappointed. It could be a big turning point for, just how you look at multiplayer Bethesda games, or just multiplayer games in general. Because if the game fails in some big way, then it'll tell you that, yeah, narrative, character development, and even plot are almost as big a deal as gameplay. Matter of fact, it could even be considered bigger. And it's what gives a lot of substance and weight to the gameplay itself, so you kind of need it. Where the crud is everybody? Do I have to go back there? Oh, I have to go back there. I was wondering what the crud was going on. I was so tied up in what I was saying.
What is going on in my tunnel?
Well, there were a bunch of Mirelurks, scumbag. I'm Arnold. But no,
Well, you stuck around.
yeah, there's just
So I guess you're
so much I'm worried about, and when you got something like Fallout Miami, it just kind of is a little embarrassing for Bethesda. Bethesda is still doing cool things. Like they're still legit with a lot of the with the community. They're legit with how they handle Creation Club to an extent, at least. And they are legit when it comes to stuff like their phone games, like Fallout Shelter. They have some pretty strong arguments for that lawsuit they're using against that whatever that was it Westworld or whatever app game for your phone. I can't remember, but yeah, they have some legitimate reasons for why they're doing that though, compared to what the crud PUBG did. And then, of course, they're calling out Sony on a bunch of stupid stuff with their crossplay, with the crossplay situation. So, Bethesda's a cool company, and they're actually one of the only companies besides Ubisoft, and just saying, they're the only companies besides Ubisoft that actually give me, like, closed beta codes, whether it's because I signed up or pre-ordered, but they still do that stuff and they're open to it. But I do feel it's kind of stupid that they're attaching the beta to 76 only if you really pre-order. And it is coming out October, by the way, sometime in October. I can't remember exactly when, but yeah. Expect the beta to be in October, but that's kind of close to the release date. That's just next month, and it's not too far into next month either. It's like the 14th or whatever. It's like halfway into the month. But yeah, it's just kind of dumb, a lot of stuff they're doing. And the more I hear about stuff like Fallout Miami and a couple of the other things people have been bringing out, the more disappointed I'm actually getting, and just underwhelmed by the announcement of Fallout 76, and it's kind of sad. So hopefully Bethesda somehow really pulls us back. I mean, Todd Howard does have big involvement, but even some of the biggest kings of gaming can fall, and sometimes pretty hard too. But yeah, it's just like expect the unexpected maybe, or just expect the expected. Who knows how this situation could go. But tell me what you think about what I said here today. There's probably more to what I would have to say, but I'm kind of losing thought. I'm kind of losing track of what I'm saying myself. But, yeah, tell me what you think about Fallout Miami and Fallout 76 and what I said here today. Add your own comments. Tell me what you thought of what I said. And stuff. If you did enjoy this video and my other content, like, share, and subscribe, and you see more like this. Oh, what's happening to my voice? Oh, no. No, but, hopefully you guys did enjoy this, and I will see you guys next time. Tell me what you guys want to see too. I'm planning on doing The Last of Us as well as Metro 2033 Let's Play. I also want to give a shout out to King Jeff, because that's King, capital K, lowercase I, lowercase n, lowercase g. Yes, there is the underscore, just like watch underscore dogs. So King underscore Jev, capital J, lowercase e, lowercase v, and that's all attached. Go subscribe to him. I watched a couple of his videos. He's pretty cool. He's doing Last of Us, funny enough, and I want to do Last of Us as well, and I'm like, crud, I don't want to feel like I'm copying or doing it at the same time now that he's seen my a video or two of mine. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope tell me how this mic is, by the way, and so on. I think I'm going to go for this. Yeah, I'm just kind of just looking at what I want to level up here. I'm trying to think about it. Kind of want to get that, but I don't have the requirements met for it. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next episode of whatever the quid I do. Maybe another Arnold video. I don't know. Tell me. See you guys next time.